bait right there. What's up? So, if you guys didn't notice the first clip, I know you're going to say something. That cover doesn't match. Nice! So I painted it the same time I painted everything else. Same amount of coats as everything else. I got a tip from somebody that I know that is really good at all this stuff. And I was already done with it at the time, because I was already on the second coat of clear. And he said, you should have your parts sitting the way they should be on the car because the metallic will lay different. I mean, I believe that now, because the bumper was laying down like this, the plug was sideways, the fenders were sideways, so I don't know how good the fenders are going to match the bumper. And this plug, then it's the metallic lays different the way it was. So I kind of understand when they did the pearl on this, how I said it wasn't painted in this hole. Like they painted it with the plug-in. It makes sense to me now. If I would have painted this all with the plug-in, it would have matched. The fenders, I should have laid them down, or I should have had the bumper up, laying or standing up, and had the fenders like they are. You know, that's how they are on the car, only sideways. It's an R-Title car, so we are not redoing it. We're going to put it on the car. Also just had a guy come here and give me money down on it until it's finished. So this is sold, which makes room for me to work on this and then also bring my Z in so it's not sitting outside. And then I have a little bit more room in the driveway. And after that, we can tear down. I'm going to list the parts car for parts and see what I can sell right away off that and start, you know, pulling it apart and all that good jazz. And then Vivor just keeps sending me cool stuff. Check this thing out. We'll do a review on it here in a little bit. It's an air jack. Oh, let me close the open valve. Wait, what? I'm going to tell you right now before I do the review, the only thing that sketches me out is the amount of play that this thing has. It just sketches me out. Smells like rubber. I'd say just like your mom's bedroom, but there's no rubber in there. I got a new skid plate there. Mine is damaged, so it's a little less complete than this car. But yes, I did sell this car. So as soon as I finish it, it's out of here. That's awesome. Part of me is still worried about the color match on this. So, but we'll see. Now, there are some areas that I just threw some touch-up paint on. Like I said, it was the lower part of the fenders down by the rocker. There is some chips here, and I just dabbed some paint on while I did, because I wanted to blend across here, so I didn't spray this section except for with clear. So I did dab paint on those areas and then cleared. I think one was worse. It was this one. This one was the worst. So yeah, this was all bare and rusty, so we got it all covered and painted. It's just a little, you know, a little bit of touch up and a little bit of clear. Made it look pretty good. But before we go ahead and throw this stuff on here, I'm going to polish the hood and the doors, because I know the color's just gonna look like it doesn't match, because the clear is not as clear, if you get what I'm saying, on these, because these are resprayed panels, okay? This is not factory paint, I can tell you that. There is a slight dent in the front of this hood that I didn't notice, because there was scuffs on it, and I polished that out, and now I can kind of see a little bit of a bend right there at the end. I'm not worried about that. It doesn't really show up. It didn't crack the paint. So to fix that would be more work than what it's worth. This hood does have, I've seen there's some body work in it. When the light hits it, I can see, I don't even see it now. It's so hard to find that when the light hits it. There's a spot like right around in here that's body worked, and there's a spot right up in here that's body worked, and it's very hard to see. So I already did buff these scratches out, and I'm gonna continue that up the hood. There were scratches on the passenger door. You could see a small chip there. There was a whole door mark here, like somebody opened their door into it. And I polished pretty much all of that out of this door, and it looks really good. So there's a couple areas I want to hit, and I'm going to get out my corded drill. There's some marks here that need to be buffed out. There's some marks here that need to be buffed out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that stuff now. I'm using Meguiar's mirror glaze fine cut cleaner. The ultra cut is really good for really bad marks, but for stuff like this, it might take you a little bit longer to polish it out, but you don't have to worry about burning through your paint. So that's what I'm going to use. I got to go find my buffer, and we're going to go to town. No doubt, I think that hood is going to match the bumper really closely. It looks pretty good. Now that we polished this and we used a cutting cleaner, we need to get something on this. Armor Shield is a good one to use. I don't want to use my Armor Shield. I'm going to use a quick ceramic spray on this just to get a coating on it. GT Shine likes hooking me up with their products, and I like them, so that's what we're going to use, the quick ceramic spray. Now this is really easy to use, and it's very inexpensive. It's cheap. I think don't quote me, I think it's like 12 bucks. I could be wrong. Now seriously, all you need to do is spray it on and wipe it off. You don't even need that much of it. That's plenty. Now this hood is smooth to the touch. Hell, I got a water sprayer here. I don't want to do this because I just cleaned it, but look at that. Protected. Now these detailing microfibers are really nice. They're also available on their website. I think it was like 4 of them for 10 bucks. I don't know. They are very nice. They're not the drying towels. The drying towel would have been better for that, wiping it off right now. But that looks very nice, and it's very smooth to the touch now because I put ceramic on it. Now we're going to do both of the doors. I'm probably only going to do like half of the door because I don't need to do the whole car. I just want it so when I put the panels on, it doesn't look like a night and day difference between panels. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. We'll put some ceramic coating on the whole panel then after we're done, and then we'll get to mounting panels after that. Alright, so we did not get rid of all the scratches, but it did minimize what they look like. And I also put some touch-up paint on some areas. I do have to wipe off some paste and stuff on the door. This door jamb had chips on it. I touched them up with paint I had left. There was chips on this door edge, on the hood, on the edge. I touched them up. There was an area back here I touched up, and then there was a couple like small scratches back here on this part, and I touched those up as well. And I just used the black paint that I used to paint the bumper and everything, and it blended it all. It looks really good. It looks good. So the only thing really left to do right now is to start putting this thing back together. I want to get the fenders on first, and I gotta get this washer bottle loose to do that, because they put, this is so convenient, look at this. So with the washer bottle in, the fender bolt's in right here. So you have to take the washer bottle out, which is only one bolt that holds it. It's that one right there. And it comes out. I'm going to try to tuck it in the fender well here, and then go from there. Let's use our air jack. So Vivor sent this to me. This is a 3-ton air jack. Minimal assembly. The bottom comes together, and then you have to put the arm together, this top piece. Now all you have are these clamp bolts, and then one bolt down there, and this is adjustable. So I just lift it up and then slide it down here, and you can put it in different slots in there, and that makes it easier to wheel around, as you can see. So this goes up pretty high. I'm gonna put this under that control arm there. Let me move this extension cord in and I'll put it there. Now I will say this doesn't go down quite as low as my low profile jack. That goes a lot lower. This I'm not sure that I can get. I want to try to get it under that one control arm there. You can adjust this down as far as it goes, like this. It just fits. Just fits. In fact, it hits the control arm, so that's not going to work. Sometimes if you stand on it and release the pressure, you can get a little bit more out of it. So let's see if I can get it underneath there now. It's just right there. Okay, well, I can get under this control arm right here. So let's go ahead and all you do is let air in, and it's going to go up. And just like that, it's up in the air. So, like I said, minimal installation stuff. There's a hose that comes up through. You bring it up through the handle, bring it out right there. You have to trim it because they give you more than you need. Trim it, hook it up, tighten up that, And then I had to change the air valve on this. But besides that, all this was together, and all you had to do is 4 bolts and that bolt down there. So it's really easy to put together. It's really easy to use. Check that out. Now my camera went dead when I was in the middle of putting the inner fender in. The inner fender is in. And then I went ahead and threw the headlight in. It's plugged up. I also had to polish the headlight because I had it in the garage and I didn't have it covered up, so it had overspray on it. So there it is. It's all polished now and clean, and then I put ceramic coat on it, so we're good there. Now we got to do this whole side. It's a lot less work because I don't have to worry about a washer bottle or anything else. All I have to do is shove the foam wedge blocks up in there that go up in, and then we go from there. Alright, so it looks like we have some more work to do on this thing after I get it back together. There's a small bit of oil on the ground. Not quite sure where it's come from, but it's like the turbo area. There's another thing there. There's a lot of oil around the turbo, but it was from that PCV valve leaking and letting all of the oil go through the turbo and down through the intercooler and stuff. And there's a lot of residue and stuff on the turbo there, and I don't know if getting it hot it's dripping off, but it left a small puddle here, so I'm gonna have to get it up in the air and look at it. But we have this under tray to put on, but I want to figure that out before we put the under tray in. But anyways, let's go ahead and fit the bumper. We are at that point of the video to see what it looks like, kind of. Man, when I tell you that is a dead-on color match, I'm not even lying. I have outdone myself. I impressed myself. So from the bumper to the hood, no difference at all. And I did not paint the hood. I painted the bumper. From the fender to the bumper, actually looks really good. And from the fender to the hood, looks really good. And then I just blended it across here. You can't even see that. And I mean, this thing looks good. Honestly, I love this color on this car. It just looks good. It looks menacing. It looks really good. Now I need to figure out where this oil is coming from. So we're not done by any means, but everything's hooked up now. So I got to clear the check engine light. I got to get these flaps from the inner fenders bolted on, the under tray. Not worried about the under tray right now because we got to figure out what's going on with the leak here. But let's go ahead and fire it up. I'll try to get it lined up for the lift so I can get it off the ground. But man, that thing looks great. Brand new again. Alright, so this is going to be the last thing I do on this video, but I know the whole underside of this is going to be a little bit oily because it's just like seeped into everything, and I don't know if we do have an actual leak or if, because like it's oily over here. It's like, how do you narrow that down? It might just be coming from that turbo. Okay, so up there you can see the turbo right there. There's oil on that. I don't know if it's seeping. What is that? I think that's part of the intercooler tubing. I got a better look. Right there. This is intercooler tubing. And it's very oily right there on the bottom. I'm thinking this is just build up from, like I said, how much was in the intake tube. But I mean, who knows? So I'm gonna have to keep my eye on that. I'm gonna try to spray that clean and everything below it, but yeah, I don't see it dripping. That's one good sign, but I can't get a light up in there on it to even get a good view of it. From right here, that's the best view you're gonna get. There are 2 flange bolts on that, and with enough extensions and maybe a universal, I might be able to hit the bolts. I'm gonna see if I can tighten them up. There's probably a gasket in there, but that is just air pressure. That's the charge pipe from the turbo. So I mean, it shouldn't be oily for one, but we know why. For 2, it shouldn't be leaking. So I'm gonna try to tighten them bolts up if I can, and I'll get back to you. All right, I'm not even lying to you. I got on them with this, okay? One area to get up through is right around this motor mount here. Right behind that compressor, you can get on the one with this long extension on. And then the back one, if you feed it up through here, you can get on it with this. And both of them, I got about 3/4 of a turn out of maybe a full turn because they were kind of loose. And I don't know what kind of gasket is in there, if it's a rubber gasket or like a material gasket. That should help seal that up. So I'm gonna spray everything down. I don't know how much brake cleaner I have left. I kind of like went a little overboard last time. But anyways, she's looking good and she's running good and we're happy and she's sold. It's just good news all around. Oh no, look at that leak. That's just air conditioning. Yeah, we got her wiped down really good now. Now look at this pipe. And then up in through here, I doused her. She looks really good, okay? Really, really good. And I wiped down. I mean, there's gonna be oil remnants because it like got on the inside of these aluminum frames. Just like, look, like around that edge and stuff. And up in there, I've been wiping everything down, but it just keeps coming back. When it gets warm, it seeps out. But the motor itself is dry. This side of the motor appears to be dry. This side is dry. So, I mean, transmission, everything looks good up in here. So on top of that, I cleared all the codes because it had a bunch of codes for the bumper and the shutters and all that stuff. So I guess we can put it down and restart it and see if any of the codes come back. I don't think anything's coming back. I did notice I've had this thing running for a while now, and there's significantly less smoke in my garage this time. Like it got hazy before. It's been running for like a half an hour now. No haze. So that's good. I can still smell it a little bit. You got to do that. Smell it, you got to do it with your fingers. All right, I got one for the USB circuit, so I'm wondering if I didn't plug it in here, so I'm gonna have to mess with that. But besides that, let's take a gander on the dash there. Let's shut her off, and we're gonna do a restart. You gotta open the door to let everything reset. Now, see when the bumper's not on, the check engine light comes right back instantly. No check engine light, no airbags, no nothing. Next video, I need to button up a lot of things on this, small things. The tint has to come off. I don't know if I'm gonna video that. It sucks. It's gonna be a hot day, so it's gonna be perfect for me to do the tint tomorrow. So I'll probably pull this thing out of the garage and let it sit in the heat. You just spray ammonia on the tint, put bags over them, and then let it sit in the heat, and that eats the adhesive and it comes right off then. But yeah, man, shit sounds good. So I'm gonna put the underplate on and stuff like that off camera, but we do have things to do. So in the next video, we're finally gonna take this thing out on the road, and we're gonna see what this thing can do, and we're gonna make sure it's healthy, and we're gonna make sure that it does not have any problems that I overseen. So a lot of things you just can't tell by having it sit in your garage. You gotta drive it. So we're gonna take it out, and we're gonna get our driving impressions of this thing. So if you like this video, smash that like button, consider subscribing. Hit that dislike button if you want me to give you my driving impressions of your mother. And we'll see you on the next episode. Alright. This is what an hour before Dintin time looks like. Not that. That's what? You was just talking a second ago. This is where the food's at. They're not even like, this is normal. This is mild. What if I get your bowl out? the look of determination. So ferocious.
Did any of you want to say bye-bye? Do you want to say bye-bye?